Hashimoto, 5 precautions that no one tells you about. You wake up, and you feel that something is wrong. But no one sees it, not even the tests. Your body seems to betray you in the first few minutes of the day, and no matter how much you try to carry on normally, there is something inside you that weighs you down. A tiredness that doesn't go away with rest. A mind that seems slower and more confused. An irritation that comes out of nowhere. The mirror shows a face that you no longer recognize. And even though you eat less, your weight increases, your hair falls out, and you feel like you're living in a fog, as if the world around you is out of focus. You even considered that it was all in your head. Maybe it was just stress, anxiety, lack of focus. But there's something inside you that knows, this isn't normal. This isn't who you used to be. And no matter how many tests you take, how many doctors you visit, they all say the same thing. Everything is fine, but you know it's not. Today we're going to talk about something that many people suffer from, but almost no one really understands. We're going to talk about Hashimoto's. More than that, we're going to talk about the care that you're rarely taught. Small attitudes, small choices, that can change the way you feel about your own body. Maybe, throughout this video, you'll see yourself clearly for the first time. Maybe you'll finally understand that you're not alone, and that your body, despite everything, is trying to protect you. If at any point something I said touched you, write here in the comments, I feel this. It may seem like just a sentence, but for another woman who is going through the same thing in silence, it could be a sign that she is not alone. Sometimes, that's all we need. Someone to say, me too. What you're about to discover now may not change everything at once, but it could be the turning point that your body has been trying to show you for years. Anna is 34 years old. She has always been the type of person who can handle everything, who can handle work, home, friends, plans. But recently, something has changed. First, it was tiredness. Not the usual tiredness after a busy day. It was an exhaustion that started in the morning. Then came the forgetfulness, words that would disappear from her head in the middle of a sentence. Her body felt heavier, as if she were carrying invisible bags. Her clothes got tighter, even though she was eating the same amount of food. And her mood, it disappeared without a trace. Anna tried to explain, tried to understand, but everything seemed confusing. She went to the doctors. She had tests done. He heard that everything was fine. Maybe it was stress, they said, or anxiety. Maybe some therapy, some tea, some rest. But she knew that wasn't all. It was as if she was screaming for help in a language that no one around her understood. Not the professionals, not her family, not even herself. Until one day, by accident, she heard a new term, Hashimoto's. It was a conversation in a video like this one. She clicked on it, and for the first time, everything started to make sense. The symptoms, the cycles, the feeling of being disconnected from her own body. It wasn't madness. It wasn't weakness. It was an autoimmune disease, invisible but real, and with a name. It was like naming a ghost that had been haunting her days for years. Anna's story may seem like just another story, but maybe it's yours too, told with different details, different scenes, but the same silence. The same loneliness of someone who feels that something is happening inside them, but can't explain it. And if this story resonated with you in some way, like this video, it may not seem like much, but sometimes a like is what makes this message reach someone who is exactly where you were, trying to understand what is happening to their own body. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease, but the technical name doesn't convey what's really going on inside. Basically, it's as if your own body has unintentionally started a silent war against you. The immune system, which should protect you, starts attacking your thyroid, a small gland that's essential for almost everything in your body. It's as if it mistakes a vital part of you for an invader. And this mistake costs you dearly. It messes with your hormones, your metabolism, your mood, your energy, your mental clarity. Everything seems out of whack, disconnected, out of rhythm. But there is something important that almost no one tells you. Your body is not failing. It is not sabotaging you. It is reacting. In the wrong way? Yes, but it is reacting to something that once made biological sense to it. Maybe a trauma, an overload, a silent intoxication. Hashimoto's is not your fault. It is not a whim, and it is definitely not in your head. It is immunology. It is an organic reaction, real, measured, but not always understood by those who should be guiding you. That's why so many people spend years suffering without answers. Because the body is speaking, but no one understands the language. It's as if it's screaming for help in an unknown language, and all you get in return are doubtful looks, generic prescriptions, or the famous, "everything is normal," but you know it's not. You feel it in your body, in your skin, in your hair, in your eyes that no longer shine like they used to. Here, we speak your language. We listen to what your body is saying when the rest of the world chooses to ignore it. If you feel like you are finally being understood, if this makes sense to you, subscribe to the channel. This is a safe space. Real empathy and transformation. Because your body deserves more than silence. It deserves care. And now, we are going to start with it. You could be inflaming yourself 3 times a day, and you don't even realize it. The food you eat has a direct impact on how your body responds, especially when it comes to an autoimmune condition like Hashimoto's. What seems harmless can be fueling the inflammation that saps your energy, alters your mood, and throws your hormones out of whack. Ultra-processed foods, gluten, excessive dairy, hidden sugar in almost everything. All of these can trigger silent triggers in your immune system. And the worst part is that most people don't even realize it. Change starts with awareness. What you eat can be your medicine or your poison. Prioritize natural, anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, ginger, leafy greens, and root vegetables. This isn't a fad diet. It's the biology of your thyroid. Sleeping poorly isn't just a bad habit. It's a real risk for people with Hashimoto's. Sleep is one of the body's main mechanisms for hormone regulation and repair. When you don't get enough sleep, your thyroid feels it, your immune system goes on alert, your hormones go haywire, and the cycle of exhaustion intensifies. Sometimes, getting enough sleep is more important than any supplement. Create a routine. Reduce blue light at night. Stick to your schedule. Unplug. Your body can only heal when you get proper sleep. Now stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. It seems simple, but this gesture, which you almost never do mindfully, can be a game changer. Chronic stress is one of the biggest triggers for autoimmune imbalances, and most of us have learned to live with it as if it were normal. But it isn't. A racing mind feeds an inflamed body. High cortisol prevents your body from recovering, and your healing begins when you learn to pause. Breathing calmly is an act of de-inflaming yourself from the inside. Meditation, silence, small breaks throughout the day, all of these send a different message to your body. It is now safe to heal. Have you ever heard that the gut is the second brain? Well, with Hashimoto's, it's almost the first. It's in the gut that much of your immunity begins. And it's also where many inflammations are fed, silently. An unbalanced gut contributes to the autoimmune attack against the thyroid, but few people talk about this. Taking care of your gut microbiota is taking care of your health as a whole. Eat fiber. Cut down on sugar. Include fermented foods. And with guidance, consider quality probiotics. Your gut talks to your thyroid. They are not separate. They talk all the time. And finally, perhaps most importantly, learn to listen to your body before it screams. Most women only pay attention when their symptoms are already at their limit. But your body warns you beforehand. It whispers. It sends subtle signals, but we've learned to ignore them. Write down your symptoms. Notice patterns. Check in with yourself. Ask your body, what are you trying to tell me today? This care, which seems so obvious, is one of the most neglected. And perhaps it's the most transformative. Because it gives you back something you've lost along the way, the confidence that you can listen to yourself and heal yourself. You are not broken, you are not failing, and most of all, you are not alone. What you are experiencing with Hashimoto's is not a punishment. It is not weakness. It is not a lack of willpower. It is your body trying to survive the only way it knows how, trying to defend itself from something that, at some point, was interpreted as a threat. Your immune system is not a villain. It is lost, disoriented, and yes, this brings pain, fatigue, confusion, but it also brings an invitation, a silent call for you to start listening to yourself in a way you may never have done before. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that there's something wrong with you, that you're not the same anymore, that you've lost your control, your lightness, your sparkle in your eyes. But the truth is that you're in a process. You're being invited to build a new relationship with your body. A relationship based not on blame or demands, but on listening, patience, and respect. Hashimoto's isn't the end of your vitality. It's a call for a break. It's a reminder you need to come back to yourself. Your body doesn't want to punish you. It wants to protect you. It wants to be heard. And although it may seem difficult now, there is another way. A way where you learn to nourish, not punish, to rest, not resist, to embrace, not fight against what you feel. Your body is a temple, and we don't abandon a temple when it has cracks. We take care of it. We restore it, we illuminate it, with gentleness, with love. Now that you know these precautions, these little practices that no one taught you, maybe it's time to give new meaning to all of this, to transform pain into direction, to transform fear into listening, to transform struggle into reconnection. Because yes, it is possible to live more lightly, even when living with Hashimoto's. Your story doesn't end here. It can start over now. And maybe this new beginning will be more true than everything that came before. If this video touched you in any way, if at some point you felt understood, seen, validated, then like it now. It may seem like just a click, but it helps this message reach other women who are still silent, without knowing that what they feel has a name, a cause, a path. It is a simple gesture, but with enormous power to reach. And if you felt like sharing something to say me too, to confirm that you are here, write in the comments, I choose to listen to myself every day. It could be your first commitment to yourself. It could also be what someone else needed to read to no longer feel alone. This is how we create a network, create strength, create space. And if you want to continue on this journey with us, learning to take care of your body with more awareness, more acceptance, and without judgment, subscribe to the channel. Here, you won't find miraculous promises, but you will find truth, real information, and above all, empathy. Because those who live with Hashimoto's don't need more guilt or more pressure. They need clarity, support, space to breathe. And if you've made it this far, perhaps what comes next is even more important. The video that's appearing on the screen could be the missing piece that will turn your understanding into action. Watch it. Your body will thank you, and your soul too.